What if I told you that over 200 practices established 1400 years ago are now being validated by cutting-edge neuroscience, physiology, and medical research? What if ancient wisdom anticipated discoveries that our most advanced laboratories are only now confirming? Welcome to a groundbreaking exploration where traditional Islamic practices meet modern scientific validation. I am here to share the results of extensive research that will challenge everything you thought you knew about the relationship between ancient wisdom and contemporary science. For decades, many dismissed traditional practices as mere superstition or cultural habit. But something remarkable has been happening in research laboratories around the world. Scientists studying everything from hydration physiology to neuroplasticity are discovering that practices established in the 7th century contain sophisticated understanding of human biology that we are only now beginning to appreciate. Let me give you just a taste of what we have uncovered. Canadian researchers recently discovered that the Islamic practice of drinking water in 3 small sips results in 600% better water retention compared to gulping. That is not a cultural preference. That is optimal physiology. Your kidneys literally absorb more water and your body stays hydrated longer when you follow this ancient protocol. But that is just the beginning. Neuroscientists are finding that the practice of entering bathrooms with the left foot first may actually provide daily neurological training. It exercises the same brain networks involved in motor planning and executive function that are crucial for preventing cognitive decline and maintaining neurological health. The practice of intermittent fasting, specifically the Ramadan fasting pattern, is now extensively researched and validated for cellular repair, metabolic health, and longevity. What Islamic tradition established as spiritual discipline, modern science recognizes as one of the most powerful interventions for human health. We have identified practices spanning virtually every aspect of daily life. Dietary recommendations that optimize digestion and nutrient absorption, sleep positions that benefit heart function and spinal alignment, hygiene practices that prevent disease transmission with remarkable efficiency, social and community practices that enhance mental health and longevity. The research reveals patterns across multiple categories. In dietary and nutritional practices, we find sophisticated understanding of metabolism, absorption rates, and nutritional timing. The recommendation to eat slowly and mindfully activates parasympathetic nervous system responses that optimize digestion, something we have only recently understood through clinical studies. The practice of starting meals with dates provides optimal glycemic response and sustained energy release. Modern sports nutrition science has essentially rediscovered what was recommended over a millennium ago. In the realm of hygiene and cleanliness, the practices demonstrate remarkable foresight about pathogen transmission and disease prevention. Regular hand-washing protocols, specific cleaning sequences, and hygiene timing all align perfectly with what we now know about infection prevention and public health. Perhaps most fascinating are the neurological and motor practices. The research suggests that daily habits like which foot you use first, how you position your body during prayer, and specific movement sequences may provide ongoing neurological training that supports brain health throughout life. Sleep and circadian rhythm practices show deep understanding of human biology. The recommendation for short afternoon naps aligns perfectly with research on cognitive function and cardiovascular health. Sleep positioning advice correlates with modern studies on heart function and spinal alignment. What makes this research particularly compelling is the consistency across disciplines. We are not seeing isolated examples of lucky guesses. We are seeing systematic understanding of human physiology, psychology, and neuroscience embedded in comprehensive life practices. The mental and emotional wellness practices demonstrate sophisticated understanding of positive psychology decades before the field was formally established. Gratitude practices, emotional regulation techniques, and stress management approaches all have extensive research validation. Social and community health practices reveal deep insight into what modern research confirms about human connection and longevity. The emphasis on community bonds, social support systems, and collective care aligns perfectly with what we now know about the social determinants of health. Even more remarkable are the medical and therapeutic approaches. Many traditional remedies that were dismissed by modern medicine are now being validated through rigorous scientific study. Honey's antimicrobial properties, specific herbs with anti-inflammatory effects, and natural healing approaches are finding support in peer-reviewed research. The environmental and lifestyle practices show understanding of sustainability and environmental health that predates modern environmental science by centuries. Water conservation methods, natural building materials, and resource management approaches align with contemporary environmental health research. But here is what is truly extraordinary. This was not trial and error. These practices were established as a comprehensive system 14 centuries ago, long before we had microscopes, understood germ theory, or knew anything about neuroscience, metabolism, or psychology. This raises profound questions about the nature of knowledge itself. How did a 7th century understanding anticipate discoveries that required our most advanced scientific instruments to validate? We have organized this research into over 200 specific practices, each with scientific abstracts documenting the modern research that validates them. From simple daily habits to complex therapeutic approaches, the alignment between ancient wisdom and modern science is remarkable. Some practices needed minimal scientific validation because the mechanisms were obvious once we understood human physiology. Others required cutting-edge research in fields like neuroplasticity and molecular biology to appreciate their sophistication. What we are presenting is not cherry-picked examples or confirmation bias. This is systematic analysis of traditional practices measured against contemporary scientific standards. Some practices showed strong validation, others moderate support, and a few revealed areas where more research is needed. The implications extend far beyond academic curiosity. If traditional practices anticipated scientific discoveries by centuries, what might this suggest about other areas where ancient wisdom conflicts with contemporary assumptions? We are not advocating for abandoning modern medicine or scientific method. Rather, we are suggesting that traditional practices deserve serious scientific investigation rather than dismissal. The evidence suggests that traditional knowledge systems may contain insights that could accelerate modern scientific discovery. This research also raises questions about the integration of traditional and modern approaches. How might we combine ancient wisdom with contemporary scientific method to optimize human health and well-being? Over the coming episodes, we will explore specific categories of practices in detail. We will examine the dietary recommendations that optimize metabolism, the neurological practices that support brain health, the social practices that enhance longevity, and the therapeutic approaches that complement modern medicine. Each episode will focus on specific practices with detailed scientific validation. You will learn not just what the research shows, but how to apply these insights in contemporary life. We will provide practical guidance for integrating scientifically validated traditional practices into modern routines. We will also address the practices that need more research and identify areas where traditional claims have not yet found scientific support. This is not about blind acceptance of tradition, but about rigorous evaluation of practices that have shown remarkable consistency with scientific discovery. If you are fascinated by the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science, if you are curious about evidence-based approaches to health and well-being, or if you are interested in how traditional knowledge systems might inform contemporary research, this series is designed for you. Make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you do not miss any episodes in this series. Next week, we will dive deep into the specific physiological mechanisms behind the water drinking practices that started this investigation. The research supporting today's overview includes studies from institutions like the American Physiological Society, research from major universities, and findings published in peer-reviewed journals. All citations and sources are available in the description below. This is just the beginning of an exploration that may change how you think about the relationship between tradition and science, between ancient wisdom and modern discovery. Join us as we uncover the remarkable scientific validation of practices that have guided human behavior for over 14 centuries. Thanks for listening, and welcome to the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science.